Year, it seemed like one of the most promising teams in the NBA were the Charlotte Hornets. This team had one of the best offenses in the entire league. They had a promising young core of young pieces and Miles Bridges, LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, PJ Washington, James Bouknight. I mean, the list just goes on of many talented players that this Hornets team had. And technically, they still do have. But we all know with the whole situation, of course, James Bouknight was in jail, and then Miles Bridges dealing with this domestic charge and all that stuff. It has really been a huge turning point this season for the Hornets. And not only that, but LaMelo Ball as well, being in and out this season with injury, has really derailed the Charlotte Hornets season. And this year for them has just been a disaster. I mean, Gordon Hayward really hasn't played to the level that he's normally played at. He's definitely declined. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's moved on to the offseason. Desperately need another really good backup point guard. And Dennis Smith has done his part to try to help things, but he's a good defender, but overall, and he's a great playmaker, but he's overall not a great offensive player that they need. There's a lot of things that I can really discuss, but one of the main issues, of course, I will say for this Hornets team as well is three-point shooting. Three-point shooting for them this year has just been bad. When you look at it last year, the Hornets ranked 6th in three-point percentage. This year, they are dead last. And when you look at some of the players this season, of course, they don't have Miles Bridges on the team, and they've only had LaMelo Ball for pretty much half of the season, which has not been that good. But Terry Rozier has struggled from beyond the arc. He's only shooting around 30-something% from three, 32%. Gordon Hayward has shot 32%. And on his averages for his career, he shoots over 37% from the field. Not to mention, Kelly Oubre, who's already not really the best defender. He's shooting 32% this year from three. And he's attempting over 7 a game on top of that. Also, because of that failure, the Hornets this season, they aren't really a particularly great scoring team in general. Ranking 30th in offensive rating as well this season in comparison to one of the top offensive rating teams in the entire league last season. I mean, that team last year was one of the most fun, exciting teams to watch, and this year it's just been totally different. And LaMelo Ball has definitely had to play he's pretty much the key holder to their whole offensive system. When you look at them play, they rely so heavily on him. And what we've seen throughout NBA history, not many guys, and I'm not saying that anything bad about LaMelo, but not many guys can just take on all of the burden. Nobody can, and expect to win games on each and every given night. Albeit, the Hornets have improved a good bit on the defensive end ever since December, but they are still one of the lower-ranked defensive teams in the entire NBA, ranking 20th as well in defensive rating. But ever since the All-Star break, the Hornets have definitely been one of the better defensive teams in the entire NBA. According to basketballnews.com, the Hornets have asked their bigs Mark Williams, when available, and Nick Richards, who's been really well this season, to play closer to the level against ball screens when trending smaller with PJ Washington or Kai Jones at the 5. They're more inclined to switch late. If opponents attempt to target a weaker defender in ball screens or with a clear cutout are able to force an unfavorable switch, the Hornets are willing to send doubles to get their guys out of perceived trouble. Not to mention as well, as I said earlier, Dennis Smith Jr. is one of their better, smaller defenders on their team, and he's definitely a huge asset on the defensive end of the basketball court for them this season. Not to mention, I said earlier, Nick Richards, when Williams isn't available and they have Nick Richards inserted into the lineup, which for the most part now he has a rotation spot on the team now. He's played extremely well, and he even got a contract extension with the Hornets because of his play this season. Kai Jones is a very unique skill set as well, who's played very well for the Hornets this year in his rookie season. The Hornets do have some promising pieces on their team. Of course, we all know LaMelo Ball is the key piece to that working. Hornets are going to have to really address many of their weak points this season. And I mean, hopefully they can, and I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but get back Miles Bridges is definitely a big if. But if they can get him back, because, this is a guy who was averaging over 20 points per game for them last season and who helped them dang near make it into the play-in tournament, even possible playoff spot for that Hornets team last season, and showed so much promise. And now, because of all those things that have happened, of course, LaMelo this season being hurt, which has definitely not been a big minus for this team. It's just been a very consistent struggle all year long for this Hornets team to generate offense, scoring, and defense as well. They just haven't really performed well on really any end of the basketball court. Like I said, they have gotten better, especially since the All-Star break, defending teams at a very high level. Even the teams who are considered in the middle rank of the NBA, they've definitely held them to lower points in games. Still struggled for the most part. And, I don't know everything. I haven't covered the Hornets all year long, so I can't say everything. And let me know down in the comment section below and many more things that I probably missed on that has happened with the Hornets this season. But one thing, of course, we all know for this team is that they're going to be in the NBA draft for sure. They're going to have a lottery pick. And, many people hope that the Hornets could get Victor Wembanyama. And I could say now, if the Hornets got somebody like Victor Wembanyama and pairing him with LaMelo Ball, that is just a unique duo and a unique skill set of players that are going to make a lot of noise for the Hornets. Like many of the other bottom teams in the NBA, the Hornets now, of course, they're in rebuilding mode at this moment, and they definitely are. Their season is done. For them now, it's really planning for next year, planning for the NBA draft, planning for what is to happen to this team and the future of this roster. I would say, especially from, not living far away at all from Charlotte in that area and seeing the Hornets throughout the years going to their games, one of the biggest issues for this Hornets team in general has just been consistency. Of course, Michael Jordan's trying to sell the team, this and that, and hopefully, if he does get new ownership to come in and really make things better, because the fundamental issue has been over the course of decades for this Hornets team is consistency. They have failed to be consistent for numerous years. Even when they had a star player, they had Kemba Walker, who was an all-star starter, for crying out loud, one of the best point guards in the league at one point. They failed to even build a great roster around him, and it's like, when they had their chance to do so with LaMelo and Miles Bridges and all these strong young assets on their team, yet again, just something happens, and hopefully they can rebuild this team and back to the right direction. And let me know down below what this Hornets team really needs to be successful. But if the key thing for them, for this franchise, has really been consistency. We've seen years where they made the playoffs, they may make it 1 year or so, and then boom, the next year they're not that good. Then they may go so many years without making the playoffs, and then boom, they finally do it. It's never been a consistent run of actually making it. When they have, they've always got eliminated pretty much in the first round, pretty much. And hopefully they can turn around things now in this LaMelo Ball era. And if not, then we're going to see yet again another star leave the Hornets for a new, better opportunity. And I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen if things really don't change. So, yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this brief video today. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more basketball content each and every single week. Have a great day. Peace.